The government has announced plans to fully revive the Cooperative Bank within 1 year. This was disclosed by the Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Mbarara Francis, at the opening ceremony of this year's Trade Review Conference. He says the government is in final stages of reviving this significant structure in trade, building on the success and existence of the parish development model SACCOs. Mbarara adds that it is through this strategy that Centenary Bank and many other commercial banks were established. The Trade Review Conference is organized by the UK International Development in collaboration with Trademark Africa Uganda and the Ministry of Trade. The meeting is an important opportunity to reflect on Uganda's trade journey, recognize the progress made, and engage in forward-looking dialogue on the future of trade and economic development. The Mbarara Regional Hospital has decried the increased cases of monkeypox, expressing fears that patients are being mismanaged because the government has not provided resources. The warning was issued by Dr. Deus Twesige, Director of Mbarara Regional Hospital, while appearing before Parliament's Health Committee to consider the hospital's ministerial policy statement for next financial year. He told MPs that the hospital failed to feed the monkeypox patients and they are now catering for their own meals. Twesige added that the isolation unit is already full and new patients are being admitted in tents. Dr. Twesige decried the lack of government support in helping the hospital deal with this plight.
At the beginning, we made attempt of feeding these people, but eventually we failed. And today, they are feeding themselves. I feel we are mismanaging these patients. And the numbers are increasing. We are only lucky that we got now gauze, we got iodine and gloves from National Medical Store, but there is no any other help.
The administrators of Mbarara Hospital are also appealing to Parliament to spearhead the elevation of this hospital's status to match that of Mulago National Referral Hospital, owing to the super specialized services that they are offering to patients. They argue that the continued labeling of Mbarara Hospital in the same category as other regional referral hospitals has hampered its access to some commodities from the national medical stores. The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development has acknowledged the current power supply instability affecting many parts of Uganda. The ministry says the high demand is overwhelming current capacity to supply. Another cause cited is vandalism and theft, especially in areas along the Kawanda-Masaka transmission line, with criminal activities significantly disrupting power supply in those regions. According to a statement from the Energy Ministry, areas along Gulu Highway, particularly Kirandongo and Karuma, are vulnerable to bushfires, and this has caused additional damage to transmission lines, further compounding service interruptions, the ministry says. The statement, however, says that the ministry remains committed to ensuring that the country's energy needs are met efficiently and sustainably. Generally, Ugandans have become accustomed to unstable supply, especially during the rainy season. The Ugandan and Tanzanian governments have secured some of the money needed for construction of the East African crude oil pipeline. ECOP Limited, the company in charge of the construction of the pipeline and its future management, confirmed that the money will be provided by a syndicate of banks. According to a statement, the financial institutions include KCB Bank Uganda, the Islamic Corporation for Development of Private Sector, the African Export-Import Bank, and the Standard Bank of South Africa, the parent company of Stanbic Bank Uganda. ECOP Limited said the successful closure of the first tranche of external financing represents what it described as a significant milestone for ECOP and its shareholders. The construction of the pipeline is expected to cost a total of $4 billion, or close to 15 trillion shillings. And in news from across the globe, the head of Turkey's main opposition party says protests will continue in every city until either early presidential elections are called or the jailed mayor of Istanbul, Ekrem İmamoğlu, is released from prison. Özgür Özel, chairman of the mayor's Republican People's Party, the CHP, said nationwide protests would include a very large demonstration this Saturday in Istanbul. He said this will open the party's campaign to make İmamoğlu the country's next president in elections that are due in 2028. The opposition has brought huge crowds onto the streets, the biggest seen in over a decade since İmamoğlu was arrested 7 days ago. For more stories and the latest updates, log on to sanyufm.com.